Hi, everyone. My name is Tiff. I am the behavior manager at the Humane Society of Western Montana, and I'm also a certified professional dog trainer. Welcome in or welcome back. And this is another virtual puppy class. And if this is your first time, this is something that you can follow along with your puppy, or you can just sit back and absorb all of this information. But if you are going to be following along, what you'll need today is your puppy, maybe a leash, and some of their kibble or treats. And of course, if you put it in their treat pouch, it makes things easier. I always use Paya's food for her training, and that just cuts down the cost of me needing to spend money on treats, and it's healthy for her. So today's topic is chill puppy, and I'm really excited to get into this topic. It's going to be a really chill topic, but so functional, especially if your puppies are running around biting at your pant legs right now. But I want to share some news, which is today's live stream is the last live stream that we're going to be doing for a while. And I already see a question in the comments. Why is this the last one? The reason why this is the last one for a while is I'm very excited to announce that we are offering in-person group classes that are starting soon. I will explain more at the end of this live stream, but they are already posted up, and we are going to be safely and slowly rolling into our in-person classes. If you're new to our training program in general, you may not know this, but we used to offer just a smorgasbord of amazing classes, tricks, off-leash hiking classes, coming when called, basic manners, advanced manners, tricks 2, you name it, we probably offered it. And because of COVID, all of that had to be put on pause. But as people get vaccinated and as the weather gets nicer, we are going to be rolling out more of our regular programs. And the classes that we're going to offer as a start will be 1-hour workshops held outdoors, and we'll see how things go. It's going to be safe, it's going to be effective, and we hope to see you there. But like I said, I'll talk more about those programs at the end of this live stream. Tonight's program is Chill Puppy. This is such an important topic because those of us who have puppies know that they're really, really not good at being chill. It's kind of like well, maybe they are chill when they're sleeping, and then they wake up and it's like they recharge their batteries and they're zipping around, not focused, biting everything. And that's just what it's like having a puppy. So what I love about the skills that we will cover in today's class is they will be completely applicable in many situations with your puppy, no matter what routine or lifestyle you have with them. So let's start off with our first concept, and I'm just going to adjust the camera here. My dogs are being very chill right now because of all of the training we put in. So there's Paya chewing on corn or something, and Bray is being the chill master here, which is funny because in real life, he is one of the most unchilled dogs. Ooh! Sorry, my speaker dropped. In real life, he is one of the most unchilled dogs that I know. He's actually very high strung, very, very fidgety. So much fun. We love him. All right. So the first thing we need to talk about is what are we going to look for in the training that we're going to do today? So think about what the word chill or calm means for you. For example, if I said we're going to be working on sit, you already can picture in your mind what a dog looks like when they're sitting. There's only one right answer for asking your dog to sit. But when I say calm puppy, there might be many different images in your mind, or the image might be different across different people. Some people might imagine a dog that's simply standing calmly. Like my dogs are both standing right now because I'm being more exciting, but arguably they're still being chill. You know, they're not barking, they're not zipping around, they're not egging me for attention. Some people might imagine chill as a dog that's lying down, or a dog that is sitting, or that a dog that's flopped over onto their back. So it is really important to talk about what it looks like when a dog is calm, because those are the exact behaviors that we're going to be rewarding for. Excuse me. One of the things I love about this set of exercises we're going to do is there are many correct answers. So your dog doesn't only need to be in a sit or only need to be in a down. We need to reward all the different variations of calm that we see our puppies perform, because that's going to teach them to be calmer, faster, and in a very natural way. So as always, I forgot to mention this, but if you have any questions along the way, please post your question in the comments and I will address them as best as I can. All right, so when we have an image in our heads of what a few different calm behaviors are, we want to start rewarding our dogs or puppies when they start performing those behaviors. The reason for that is in training, any behavior that you reward happens more. So let's say I reward Paya right now for being calm. Good. I'm just going to say good and give her a treat. It doesn't mean that she's going to be calm forever, but that single point where I rewarded her does make it so that she's more likely to be calmer in the future. And that's pretty much how all training works. So capturing is the method that we're going to start off with. It refers to the technique of marking or saying good or yes, or using a clicker the moment your dog does a behavior that you want on their own. That's really important too. Notice I'm not saying calm down or sit or lie down. I'm simply observing my puppy and being ready to mark and reward when she naturally offers a calm behavior. For example, I've just been talking to you guys, and in that time, look at what she's doing. She's choosing to lie down on her bed. I'm going to mark the behavior, good. And then I'm going to toss her one treat for that calm behavior. Good, she's still lying down, so I'm going to mark it, which I did, and toss her a treat. I'm just going to untangle her real quick. All right. She's standing calmly. I'm going to say good and give her a treat. Because remember, it's not just sitting or lying down. There are many ways that our puppies can be calm. Look at what she's doing now. Good. And giving her a treat. Good. She twitches whenever I say that word because she just knows what it means. Good. If you're, you know what, how we can start with this, because we're going to apply the skill in many different ways. But a great way to start is to mark and reward 5 to 10 calm behaviors with about 5 seconds in between. And here's another important thing. Let's say your puppy is not being calm. Let's say you're standing here and they are just bugging out. They're barking, they're pulling at your pant legs, or they're trying to get you to do something with them. So come on, I'm working you up. I'm working you up. I'm going to handle you. Oh, yeah. All you're going to do is you're going to stand here and you're going to ignore them. You're going to ignore them until they perform a behavior that is calmer than what they were doing before. So for example, I ignored her being hyper, even though I elicited that behavior. And now she's offering a sit. So I'm going to say good and reward her. And I'm going to wait about 5 seconds, counting in my head. She's still calm. Good. I'm going to continue to give her a treat for being calm. Good. So that was the second, I lost count already. Second calm behavior. Good. That was the third one. Good. That was the fourth one. Good. That was the fifth one. If this is your first time doing this with your puppy, you might truly need to reward every 5 seconds or so because this is going to be a new exercise for them. And puppies are not naturally creatures that stay still for long periods of time. But when your puppy gets better at this, you can wait longer and longer and longer in between rewarding calm behaviors. For example, right now, I am talking, I am not training, and my dogs are not freaking out simply because I've stopped training them for a moment. All of my dogs' behaviors are the direct results of these kinds of exercises that I've done with them. They are not calm dogs. They're very high energy. They're very high arousal because apparently I don't like to sleep or something and I choose those kinds of dogs. But I've put in so much work into these skills. All right, so capturing calm, referring to the process where you reward calm behaviors one after another as your dog naturally performs them, that is a foundational skill. And you might be wondering, why don't we work on sit or down instead? Because I can surely ask for a sit, right? I can be like, Paya, you're too hyper right now, sit. Good girl, and reward her for that, right? Paya, you're too hyper, down. Good girl. And I can do that. Or I can say, Haya, go to your mat. Good girl. And all of those are also important skills and skills that I've reviewed many, many times in previous live streams. But the reason why capturing is very, very important as a skill and for capturing, reinforcing calm behaviors is when you allow your dog to make decisions on their own sometimes, like what I'm doing right now, your puppy is going to learn to naturally calm down. And if we rely too much on just telling them what to do all the time, like go sit, go lie down or whatever, then your puppy will learn to continue being very worked up until you tell them to do something. I mean, that's better than your puppy not being able to calm down at all, but it really, really doesn't teach them to self-regulate. And it would be really exhausting for me as an owner of two very high energy dogs to constantly need to say like, go lie down, go sit, go away, all of those things. So certainly those skills are important too. So we talked about capturing, and now we need to implement a release cue. I think I've covered a variation of this exercise in a very old live stream, but this is just, it's so, so important. So a release cue is any word that tells your dog they are done with the exercise that they are working on, or it can mean that they have permission to go access something else, like go have fun and go play now. And what we're going to do is we're going to layer in the release cue so that we teach our puppies to be calm for a period of time and then release them to go do something fun. After working on this set of skills, we're going to apply it in a variety of real life situations. So we're going to start off the same way. We're just going to stand with our puppies. If they're doing something we don't like, such as barking or jumping up and being the opposite of calm, we're just going to stand here and ignore them. But when they exhibit any calm behaviors, such as being quiet, standing still, sitting, lying down, chewing on a toy, things like that, be ready to mark and reward them to capture the behavior. Good, I just captured this lovely sit right here. And I'm just going to capture a few behaviors, maybe 4 or 5 behaviors. After that, I'm going to give her the release cue and toss a treat to signify we are done with this session right now. So good. That's the second one. Good. That's the third behavior that's calm that I'm rewarding. Good. That's the fourth one. Good. That's the fifth one. And then after that, she's still calm. So instead of saying the word good and marking the behavior, I'm going to say free. So you're done, and I'm going to throw a treat away. So now she's up, she's done. And at this point, in real life, we would go on a walk or we'd play with a toy or something like that. But let's do that one more time together. So reward 5 calm behaviors with about 5 seconds in between. And then after rewarding 5 calm behaviors, say your release word and end the session, so to speak. Good. There's my first calm behavior. Good. There's my second calm behavior. Good. There's my third. Good. There's my fourth, and I'm just adding a little bit of time in between because she's so good at this. Good. There's my fifth. And she's still being relatively calm, so I'm going to say free. There's my release cue, and I'm going to throw it a treat so that she can move out of what she was doing and then go on her merry way. I want to emphasize that calm does not mean stay, right? I wasn't, even though she did stay in a sit or a down and on her mat, I wasn't trying to work on a sit or a stay. I was just capturing calm behaviors. And that release cue, do you see now? We're done. I released her, so now she's sniffing around and doing other things. Okay, so the capture calm exercise, we added a release cue to it because that's going to help this skill set be very, very functional in a variety of situations. Before we implement this in a variety of situations, I want to talk about the importance of management. So management refers to any intervention that prevents behaviors that you don't want. So you might have noticed she's on a tether right now. She's not loose in my house. The reason for that is I don't want her and Bray playing in the middle of me trying to explain things to you guys. And in general, she's still a puppy. So to maintain order in my household, she's not allowed to go wander around and do whatever she wants. though she has off tether time, plenty of the time, of course. But let's say you try to do this with your puppy and they're just running around the room, tearing at your socks, or like picking up the dish rag and just running around with it. They're not being calm, even if you ignore them. You might want to implement a form of management. For example, putting your puppy on leash. The leash doesn't make your puppy calm down, but when your puppy is on leash rather than loose, they are more likely to calm down. And then when they do display calm behaviors, you can capitalize on that and reward them so they happen more. And as you can imagine, as dogs and puppies grow older, all of this work will pay off and you will have a puppy who grows into a dog who can do all of these things even when they're off leash. And certainly if you practice these skills outdoors, I insist that you put a leash on your puppy because we don't want them running off and getting into trouble. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my puppy on leash and I'm going to show you how we can implement this skill in a variety of real life situations. So here's a leash. And the first thing I want you to notice is even though I just picked up a leash from the doorway and brought it over, look at how calm my dogs are. I know a lot of dogs who freak out when people pick up the leash. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's really endearing. It's really cute when dogs get excited for walks. And they're excited. You just don't see them exhibit behaviors that indicate they're excited. The reason for that is I've worked on this skill so much. I've worked on calm a lot. I want my dogs to be happy about walks, but I mean, look at my house. It's so small. I absolutely do not want them spazzing out every time I pick up a leash. So this is why I built this behavior in. I pick up a leash and my dogs have actually learned that the calmer they are, the sooner the walk starts. So let me put this leash on my puppy first. I have, let me move the table too. Just more space to work with and show you guys things. I show this a lot in puppy classes, especially if you're watching this for the first time because puppies are very mouthy and bitey. If you struggle to get the leash on your puppy, have the leash clasp ready and have 2 or 3 treats ready in your other hand. Right, you're gonna go to your mat. It's not your turn, I'm sorry, but yeah. And you're going to feed your puppy the treat while clipping this onto the D-ring of their collar. Awesome, and now she's leashed. So of course she doesn't need this now because Paya is about 6.5 months old. She's not in that socialization period anymore. I've put the work in already, I've done the time. But if you have a very young mouthy puppy, that will teach your puppy not to fight with you playfully while you put the leash on and off. Yeah, okay. So here's an example. As you can see, Bray is off screen, but he's right there. So let's say my puppy really wants to go play with the other dog and get into trouble. See how the leash doesn't make her calm, but she just can't go get into trouble. And now she has no choice, so to speak, but to exhibit a calm behavior. Good. I'm going to reward this calm behavior. Good. I'm going to reward this next calm behavior. This is exactly what we've been doing, right? So I rewarded 2 of them. Good. I rewarded a 3rd calm behavior. Good. And here's a 4th, and so on and so forth. But now that my puppy's calm, I can say free. And then off we go on our walk, right? We're not going on a walk right now because we're live streaming. But when we center ourselves and do this exercise before going on a walk, my puppy is more likely to be calm and focused as we start off on our walk. She doesn't go crazy, zipping around the front yard or anything like that. I mean, she used to because she was a puppy once and still is. But this exercise has been really, really helpful. Let's say we just came back from a walk. And I know from experience that, walks are supposed to be enriching and tire dogs out, which they do sometimes, but a lot of dogs, including mine, get actually more amped up when they come in from a walk. It's like they're coming down from that high or something like that. So instead of coming home, taking off a leash and going like, oh my God, as my puppy continues tearing around the house and getting into trouble, why not come in from a walk, stand next to her bed, and then start doing some capturing calm exercises. Good. So I'm going to reward that calm behavior. Good. I'm going to reward that calm behavior. Oh, you didn't see where I tossed that one.
There's the third calm behavior that I'm rewarding. Good. There's the fourth. And I could keep going, but just you guys at home should do 5 or more. But because she's generally calm, after I do this set of skills, when we've come back home from a walk, I can say free and drop the leash or take the leash off. And now I'm going to sit down and relax. And, you know, Paya's still in training mode because that's who she is. Also, she knows it when I'm live streaming. But look at her, even though I've transitioned her from tether to leash and I've dropped her leash, honestly, I could even take the leash off. She's still being a pretty calm puppy, especially for given that she's 6.5 months old. Right, Paya? She's sniffing Bray right now. Calmly, I might add, because you can see that. All right, take a break. Good job. Good girl. Yeah. What a nice job. All right. So, I know I didn't go on a walk for obvious reasons, but that's just an example of how this is a very easy, short, and simple skill to do before you go on a walk with your puppy and when you come back in from a walk, even if it's just a potty break. And let's work on another implementation of this. I know from experience that a lot of dogs go crazy when you pull out a toy, or after you play with them, they might still be crazy because they don't want this fun to end. So I'm going to pull out a toy here. And I want you to just notice how she's behaving as the toy appears. So here's a tug toy. She loves to play. She loves tug. Oh, I saw that little jump up. So clearly we still have things to work on, right? But here I am. My other dog's really excited too. Both of them are so toy motivated. But here I am. I'm talking. I'm waving the toy around. And you can tell she's ready. But she's not jumping all over me. She's not barking at me to play because guess what? She has learned that the soonest way she can play is to be as calm as possible. So before I play with her, I'm going to start with the capture calm exercise, and then I'm going to use the release cue at the end to signal that she is allowed to play. Here's an example. Good. I'm rewarding the lovely sit behavior. Good. Reward the second one. Good. Reward the third one. Good. Oops, I dropped it. And my dogs didn't go crazy. Why? Because I've trained so hard with them to reward calm behaviors. Good. There's the fourth one. Good. There's the fifth one. And look at how calm she still is. So now I'm going to give her that release cue. Free. And now we're playing. You're going to grip that? Yeah. Now she gets to amp up. Woo. Yeah. Now we get to play tug. I cover how to play tug effectively with your puppy without teaching them to be more crazy in another live stream. I think it's called Play or something like that, or how to play with your puppy. I think I also cover it in the mouthing and biting live stream, which is the very first puppy live stream I did. And it's available on our YouTube channel. And there will be a link at the end of this live stream. Woo! All right, so good girl. Yeah. So let's say now she's jazzed, right? Like we know, oh, get it. We know how it works. Those of us with puppies know that when you're done playing, the toy goes away. They're amped. They're ready for more. And this is where it might be helpful to have a leash on them. But look at what she's doing now. Good. Defaulting to that nice, calm state of mind. Good. Good. So that was the third one. Good. Here's the fourth one. Good. And there's the fifth one. Now, 5 is not a magic number, but the reason why I say 5 to 10 is it's very common for people to just reward one calm behavior and then be done with it. And it really does take more than one. All right, here's Bray, right? Here's Paya. I know you still want. He's like, why didn't I get to play with the toy? All right, take a break, guys. Go, Bray. He's trying to steal the show. And look at how nice and gentle and calm she's being, even though we just played. Oh, she's offering her paw. That's so sweet. And then guess what? I can play with her again because she's so calm. Yay! go. All right, good girl, you got it. Yeah. All right, put your mat. All right, so let me show you another implementation of the skill. Clearly my dogs love to play, so they want to play with each other too. I don't allow free play in my house because, I mean, look at my space. What would it look like if I was eating and I had a drink on the coffee table and they suddenly started playing? It wouldn't look very good. They get to play so much, but on my terms, because of how small my house is and my yard space does not allow for much room for imagination either. Going into the theme of chill puppy, I want my puppy to not just fixate on my adult dog, and when play is done, I want them to both be able to relax and not continue to be amped up, right? Yeah, don't worry, I'm gonna let you guys do it soon. They actually know the word P-A-L-Y, so I gotta be careful about saying that. But here's an example. Let's say your puppy is super hyper around other dogs, whether it's a dog in your home or a dog that you're setting up a socialization date with. This doesn't require 5 minutes of training. It's really just like 1 minute of training, if even, especially if you work on this a lot and your puppy gets good at it. But here's an example. Let's say I want my dogs to play. And here's the thing. If your puppy is lunging and barking to play with the other dog and you let them do it, I mean, that's honestly, it's harmless, right? It's better that they play than they don't play. However, don't be surprised if when your puppy is 6 months old and now they're lunging and barking on leash anytime they see a dog. We call that leash reactivity. Why would they do that? Because they have learned that the more excited they become, the more likely they get to go say hi to the dog. So we're reversing that here, and we're teaching our dogs through this exercise, we're teaching our puppies to grow up to be dogs that are calm around dogs and still get to play. Wouldn't that be amazing if dogs behave that way? So look at what she just did. I didn't even ask for this, but let's reward calm behaviors. Good. We're just gonna do a very short session, but afterwards I'm gonna give her the release cue that means she can go play. Good. So there's the second calm behavior. Good. So Paya's already good at this, but again, if your puppy is really hyper, like, oh, they really wanna go to the dog, just stand here, hold the leash, and ignore them so they figure out that being hyper doesn't work. Good. And be ready to reward them when they're calm again. Good. I think one more after this. Good. And then after your puppy is calm, after 1 easy minute of training, you can say, go play. And now your puppy gets to go play with another dog. A lot of this seems inconsequential when your puppy is 8 weeks old or 12 weeks old or 15 pounds or 20 pounds. But the results of the efforts you put in now when they're young are going to pay off when they are 6.5 months old and bigger and stronger and faster than you and keen on socializing with other dogs. This is how you prevent leash reactivity. This is how you prevent dogs that are fixated on other dogs and people and jumping up on dogs and people. It all starts here with the rules and the routines you set in place. So, I mean, I have an entire live stream talking about dog-dog dynamics, and they can go forever. But for the sake of this live stream, I am going to stop them just to show you how quickly they calm down. All right, whoa, dogs, good dogs. So I'm just going to go right into a capture calm session. I'm going to just get it. Sprinkle real quick. I'm just going to get her back on leash. I know that D-ring is so small. Yay! All right. Yeah. Let's go to our mats. Yay! Good. If you live in a household with more than one dog and you want to be able to control them better, yet still have them have a happy, playful relationship, last week I did a live stream called Managing a Multi-Dog Household, where I go more into the kinds of skills that I was demonstrating here. All right, go take a break, just like that. Bray, you're not looking good right now, buddy. Thank you. All right, so I have her on leash. I'm not making her calm down, right? There's no such thing as that. I mean, you can terrify your puppy to the point where they act like they're calm, but the leash is simply here to prevent her from wreaking havoc across the rest of the house. Look at what Bray's doing. I know I gave him a cue, like go take a break, go calm down or whatever. Honestly, that's not something I've consciously worked on, but we've just stopped, right? I gave him a cue to stop playing. I could have just separated them, but we've just stopped. Good. Good. And then after play, so we already talked about capturing calm before allowing your puppy to play. Now I'm demonstrating capturing calm after they play so that your puppy truly calms down instead of staying in that hyper aroused state of mind and being like and raring to go for more. Good. Good. And guess what? Because they're being so calm, now that they're calm, I can release them to do it again. Go play. All right. So, you know, I want to be really clear here. I'm not trying to tell you to turn your puppy into a robot, to dictate every second that they play or whatever. I mean, I kind of do in my household for many reasons, but I'm not telling you that you need to do that. I am telling you that this simple exercise is applicable in many situations, and it can help your puppy calm down faster on their own and be able to self-regulate their arousal levels even before and after exciting situations. And certainly, like, let your puppies play. You don't need to turn play into a training session. Like right now they're playing. I mean, provided they're not hurting each other. I'm not on top of them when they play, except when I do need to intervene if they're playing too rough. But I do care how Paya goes into a play session, because it's super cute when a 12-pound, 12-week-old puppy toddles up to an adult dog and jumps in their face. It's less cute when a 60-pound, 8-month-old dog jumps in another dog's face. And this is, again, I can't reiterate enough, these easy exercises. In fact, we're working on like 1 or 2 exercises over and over again in different situations. This is going to set the groundwork for letting your puppy have all the fun you want them to have, socialize them extensively, but also to be able to control them and live peacefully with them. Because you know puppies, they just want to play all the time. Like they want to do this all the time with no stop button. And I mean, honestly, if I had a bigger house, maybe I'd be fine with that. But this is the house I live in. So it matters to me that when I come home from work after thinking about dogs and training for 8 to 10 hours, that I don't necessarily need to think about dogs and training for another few hours. Okay. The last thing skill-wise that I want to talk about is there are other ways to reward calm behaviors too. So we were doing these repetitions where we were marking and rewarding many calm behaviors in a row, but you can promote calm in other ways too, namely by providing a long-lasting chew, excuse me, after the exciting event. So this play is getting a little crazy here. Here's what it looks like when you don't provide a long-lasting chew. All right, dogs. So let's say I want to stop them from playing and I don't do capturing calm and I just reward one calm behavior. Guess what? They're not calm yet. They're still amped up. Oh, good shake off. And they might just want to get back into it again. So if I don't want to train at the end of a walk or at the end of a play session, I should provide my dogs with something that naturally promotes calm. And in my case, that's my puppy knocking my entire setup over. That was a good catch by me though, wouldn't you say? I'm just plugging my computer back in. So that can be something like a chew item. When dogs are chewing and licking, they are naturally calming down. I have an arsenal of chew items and frozen Kongs and stuff in my freezer for this exact reason. So here's an example. So let's say they're playing. Ready, dogs? Yeah. And let's say I want them to truly calm down, but I don't want to stand here and do this session. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my freezer. So give me a moment. I'm going to pull out these raw bones that I procured today. And And instead of doing capturing calm, I'm going to give each dog a chew in their spot. So ready? Let's go to our mats. Oh, wrong mat. Chris, get over there. Hi, go to your mat. Thank you. Wait. All right. All right. So in the absence of me capturing calm, now they're going to naturally calm down because they are now going from play to chewing on something. And, you know, you don't necessarily need to give them a big femur head all the time, but this is where frozen calms. I'll bring over some examples. These are all in my freezer right now, right? These are all frozen. So it's frozen food in there. It's her kibble mashed up with wet food. And I mean, this won't take too long for her to work through, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes for some, or 5 minutes for this hoof. But after an exciting event, like a walk or a play session, she might get one of these to help her calm down. And then I won't need to do much more work. I'll be right back. All right. So as you can see, this set of behaviors is so important because I can't reiterate enough. It allows your puppy to do all the natural puppy things. Romp, have zoomies, jump all over if you like that, play with the dog, play with toys, go on a walk, have a training session. But after the fun is done, they can learn to be very calm and self-entertained rather than continue bugging you for more or wreaking havoc across the house. Of course, puppies are still puppies. So this progress, you are not going to see it in a day. You're going to see progress in a week. I can guarantee you're going to see some progress in a week or even just a few days if you implement this skill throughout your routine with your puppy. But it's not like your puppy is just going to turn into a little throw pillow and lie around the house, which is why she's still tethered these days a lot of the time. But it's going to help your puppy be able to calm down faster and faster and as naturally as they mature. I always tell puppy owners it gets a little harder before it gets easier. Like you think the 8 to 16 week range is hard, wait till you get to the 5 to 9 month range. Adolescence, the teenage stage, we call it, for a good reason. But this is all of the skills we talked about today, all the implementation of this skill that we talked about today, so important, so easy, I hope. You can do it with an 8-week-old puppy, you can do it with an 8-month-old puppy. So the last thing I want to share is just information about our group classes. I don't see any questions, so I don't have to answer any questions, but if any questions come up as you continue living with and training with your puppy, please give us a call or contact us. So let me share the screen real quick. All right, that email right there, behavior@myhswm.org. It doesn't matter that live streams are over. We have offered free behavior support for like a decade or more, and we'll continue doing it even though we're not offering live streams. And group classes are open for enrollment right now. And our group classes, we're going slow. So far, we're going to start with outdoor classes, but we're holding them under, if you've been to our shelter, you'll know what I'm talking about, but we have this awning and we're going to be under it, but also working in our beautiful open space outside. The 3 workshops available are recall, really reliable recall, focused on coming when called, loose leash walking, focusing on leash skills, and getting off leash, which focuses on teaching your dog to one day soon become off leash reliable. And if your puppy is under vaccinated, talk to your vet about whether these classes are right for you. But as the weather allows, we hope to continue offering these kinds of programs because I think people are out with their dogs with this weather, and I think they're seeking help with those exact behaviors. And we are scheduled through April. We actually have a very limited amount of time to offer group classes because we do so many other things in our shelter and in our community, but we have 6 total workshops, 4 slots each scheduled through April. So if your puppy is on the cusp of getting their last vaccination, you might want to go ahead and schedule for one of the later April classes because it might be, your puppy might be
safe to attend at that time. But I can't tell you what age or what set of vaccinations qualifies your puppy. That's a conversation your vet should have with you. And we hope to continue offering group training classes through the summer, and hopefully with vaccinations rolling out and all of that, we hope to return to our normal offerings of group programs soon. All right. Thank you so much for tuning into our live streams. We hope that you've gotten a lot out of them. As you can see on this info card here, that we have a YouTube channel, and every single live stream we've ever done, behavior spotlights and puppy classes, are available on our YouTube channel. This is all free information. You can share it with your friends or family members or neighbors. And we covered so many topics: puppy nipping and biting, crate training, separation training, dog socialization with dogs, tricks, basic manners, leash skills. I mean, I can go on and on, but I can't remember them all. And it is just a privilege to share this information with you guys. So thank you so much. Be in touch with us. Let us know if you have questions that we can answer, and have a great time raising your puppies. I hope you guys have a good night.